Hi, this is Richard Chamberlain, and welcome back to the Protecting Your Family's Future podcast. This is episode number 69. Today, we're going to finish up our series on why people do trusts. Now, these are not the only reasons, but these are the 5 main reasons why people do revocable living trusts. Today, we're going to be talking about asset protection. Now, back in episode number 62, we talked about why use an asset protection trust. That's a little different than what we're going to be talking about today. An asset protection trust is an irrevocable trust that can be used to protect your assets from your potential creditors. What we're talking about today is using a revocable living trust to protect assets for your beneficiaries. So in a revocable living trust, your assets will not be protected from your creditors or your potential creditors, but you can design it so that it will provide protections for the people who are receiving your assets when you pass away. So a lot of reasons why people do this is because they have beneficiaries who aren't able to manage assets on their own. Maybe they're minors. Maybe they are incapacitated and aren't capable of managing their own property and financial affairs. Maybe they have creditor issues, or they're not good with money. They're spenders. If you know people who just can't hold on to a dollar, or make really bad spending decisions, a trust might be appropriate for that person so that someone else is going to be making decisions about how to invest, how to spend, what's going to be appropriate for distributions. So if a trust is designed to protect assets for people who cannot or should not be managing assets on their own, those trusts will protect the assets for those beneficiaries. Now, we also have clients who will do asset protection for their beneficiaries, even when those beneficiaries are capable of managing their own assets. They might be very responsible, very mature, good with money and good with money decisions, but they want to design the trust so that the beneficiary has the ability to protect those inherited assets from their potential creditors, from their spouse, from their spouse's potential creditors, from a divorce, or just making sure that those assets go to that beneficiary's descendants when that beneficiary ultimately passes away, instead of to their spouse. So a trust can be a way to not only protect assets for beneficiaries who can't or shouldn't be managing assets on their own, but it can also be used to protect assets for beneficiaries who can do those things, but we just want to provide additional protection against the what ifs of life. So that's, a really powerful way trusts are used to go beyond just the typical outright distribution where there are no restrictions on the assets and therefore no protections. So if that is something that makes sense to you to look at, you might talk to an experienced estate planning attorney about how that might fit into your estate plan. If you are in Ohio or in Michigan, we'd be happy to talk to you about that. The contact information for us is in the show notes. So I hope that's helpful for you today, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks.